Hello everybody, this is a project I've been working on for quite a while. If you're watching this video, you probably have an understanding of the concepts behind the program, either because I explained it to you or because you read something I wrote about it. So the scope of this video is just to show off the program itself. The program is written in Python 3.2 and the graphics are done using the Pygame module. There are several versions of this program. This one in particular is the shortest at 325 lines long, and the difference between the different versions is how they generate these maps. They all create maps on a cylindrical world, except other versions use an algorithm to create randomly generated maps which look more realistic but aren't as scientifically valuable or precise. So this version uses a formula just to create an elliptical continent for this world at a specified height and width. So here's the actual program in action. This is the display and this is the console right here. In the console, you can see various information about the program being run. For instance, you can see that it's on iteration 7. The program normally would go up into iteration 10, but I made this one stop early. You can also see that the average technology value of the entire map right now is 171. You'll notice that the map is colored in a strange looking way. The brightest tile on the entire grid is the one with the highest technology value. The coloration is a function of that tile's technology value versus the highest technology value. That is to say, it's relative. This area looks to be the most advanced area in the entire world right now. And then this area, like over here, is kind of a backwater. Not a lot of technological advancement here. So I can click on an individual tile, and that'll show me the connections for that tile. Before that, I just loaded up all the connections for the entire world. So you can see here that these connections don't go very far. And that's because the world is kind of young right now. The people haven't developed as much and they haven't been able to transport themselves as far. Another thing you can see is this. What this does is when I click on a tile, it'll pick a random technology from that tile, and then it'll highlight all of the other tiles that have that technology as well. And that's really useful because this lets me see exactly how these technologies are spreading. And they spread in this horizontal ellipse shape, which is what I'm going for. This is a simulation that's gotten all the way to iteration 10. The average technology value for this simulation is 2,700, which is quite a bit higher than the one that only got to iteration 7. It increases, the technology value of the entire map increases exponentially as the map progresses. I can also create precise ellipses of whatever orientation I want. This is the same size ellipse as this one over here is, except it's vertical. And that's valuable information. If you look here, this vertical ellipse, its average check value is substantially lower than the average check value of the horizontal ellipse. And it should be noted that this is stochastic. You kind of have to run the program over and over before you can get really meaningful results. You have to run it over and over and average everything together. Because if you, not all vertical ellipse continents have this average technology value. Some of them have gotten quite high. Thankfully, I'm able to automate this process. I can just have another program that says to run this program over and over and then record all the results, or run it over and over, but each time you run it, change a variable a little bit, and then I can create like a line graph to show the effect of that variable as it increases or decreases. A thing that's interesting to look at here, this is that world that got to iteration 10, and as you can see, the lines of connections are just, there's a lot more of them. Most tiles are connected to most other tiles, I guess. So they can travel quite far now. And even if you go to the edge of the map, you'll see that it can loop around. The world is still cylindrical, although this one doesn't seem to loop around very much. Another thing you can look at is the technology highlighting that I mentioned earlier. As you can see, most technologies have spanned over the entire continent. Whereas if we look at this vertical one, this is not so much the case. A lot of the time, technology might not make it to the other side because the technology is spread in a horizontal ellipse pattern. And that's important. If we look here, you can see the different variables I have associated with the simulation and the map generation. Here I can set the exact height and width of the ellipse that I'm looking at. And then I have other variables like tech chance. Tech chance affects the chance that a person might create a new technology every iteration. And there's just a lot of variables like that sort of thing. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching.